What is going on, everybody? WeedleTwineedle here, and we are backing in with a sword and shield battle video. Alright, you got
Gotcha,
me.
bitch.
We're going back to Gen 7 today because I wanted to utilize this team in Gen 7, and I already had these battles before Sword and Shield came out. But before we get into today's video, we're actually sponsored today, our first ever sponsor on the channel. And of course, sponsoring the channel helps me out tremendously, especially with YouTube demonetizing all my videos. So if you guys can do me a big favor and stay tuned for this quick ad and check the links in the description, maybe give this game a download, I would really appreciate that because these guys are really helping me out and their game is pretty fun to play, not gonna lie. So I definitely think it's worth your time to at least try out their game and give it a shot. So who are we sponsored by today? Introducing Raid Shadow Legends. I know you've likely heard about Raid before, but there was a great reason for that, and if you haven't heard about them before, you may be asking yourself, what is Raid? Raid is an epic dark fantasy turn-based strategy game done right. I personally think it's one of the best mobile RPG games out there, but don't just take my word for it. Raid is in the top 3 ranked RPGs on the Google Play Store, and it's just been nominated as a finalist for the Google Play's Best of 2019 Users' Choice Awards. This game is crazy popular, with almost 15 million downloads in the past 6 months and 300k plus reviews that culminate to a near perfect rating. Clearly Raid has something good going on here. And Raid definitely does, such as a fully voiced story campaign with over 400 champions for you to collect and personally customize. Raid is adding more than 16 new champions every month. There's always new strategies, new balance, and new warriors to play around with. Not only that, you can also discover brand new locations, partake in any of the 16 factions, play with friends in a clan, and of course, PvP. And the best part, it's free to play. That's right, free. On top of the game being free, there's progression rewards for the first 90 days, which allows you to easily collect tons of champions, equipment, and other cool stuff just for playing the game. My personal favorite champion to use so far has got to be the Crusader. With his rally skill, he can either do damage or assist an ally and have them attack twice, which is quite versatile and quite easy to use as well. Raid has just come out with this cool roadmap. Raid has huge plans for updates such as a brand new faction, a tag team arena, and even a new clan boss you can fight with your clanmates. So there's pretty much near infinite content for you to enjoy, so the game just really doesn't grow stale at all. You can find me in-game as WeedleTwin. No Edel because there's a character limit, and if you're fast enough you can join my clan. So what are you waiting for? Click on the special link in the description and you will get 50,000 silver coins and a free epic champion as part of the new player program to start your journey. Good luck and I'll see you there. Anyway, back to the video. Today we're utilizing a team revolving around Mega Sceptile and Heliolisk. Unfortunately, Mega Sceptile is not in Sword and Shield, so this combination can only be done in Ultra Sun and Moon. We're also utilizing Pinsir, which is very vital for this team, believe it or not. And then we have Heatran, which is meant to counter one specific Pokemon, which you always run into. Now looking at my opponent's team...
Wow! Incredible!
Of course there's Xerneas.
Again. A fucking game.
You can't go one double battle video without seeing Xerneas. That's one good thing about Sword and Shield. No more Xerneas because this Pokemon is going to haunt me for the rest of my life. But my opponent is innovating the meta a bit. He has a Salazzle over Incineroar, Breloom over Amoonguss, so my opponent is trying to innovate a little bit here. And he also has Latias, which is pretty rare to see in VGC. And without further ado, let's get right into this first battle against Warbler. Okay, so we are challenged by Warbler, who does have that Xerneas sleeve, which does give our team quite some issues because, you know, a team that revolves around Mega Sceptile, the strongest fairy type in the game besides arguably Magearna, will give this team some difficulties, so hopefully we can find a way around the Xerneas in this battle right here. So my opponent's going to lead off with Salazzle and the Xerneas. I'm going to lead off with Mega Sceptile and Heliolisk right here. And I'm going to protect my Sceptile turn 1 because I don't want it to get faked out or double targeted by the Xerneas. My opponent's going to choose to go for Fake Out into Heliolisk instead, which was kind of unfortunate for me, as my opponent's going to actually go for the Z move here with the Xerneas. I'm like, please don't go for a Z Moonblast into my Heliolisk. Please, Lord, don't let that happen. And my opponent actually decides to go for the Z Geomancy instead of regular Geomancy. My opponent is innovating the meta right here with their Xerneas, going for the Z Geomancy instead of regular Geomancy. I can respect that. So here I'm kind of expecting my opponent to have Fling on the Salazzle. With Z Geomancy, he wants to buy 2 turns, obviously, so I'm expecting my opponent to go for the Fling with the King's Roar combination against my team right here. But instead, my opponent actually goes for the overheat, and I'm like, oh god, goodbye Sceptile, but thankfully he targets on the Heliolisk and we're able to barely live at 10 HP, and now Heliolisk will be able to go for the Electrify, which unfortunately will fail, but that does not matter because we're able to go for the Mimic right here into my Heliolisk and learn the Electrify. So I'm sure a light bulb went off in your guys' head, and you're like, oh, Electrify Mega Sceptile, forcing the Lightning Rod. I see, Weedle, but don't worry guys, the strategy does not end here. My opponent's going to pull a switch into Latias, so I'm going to pull a hard switch into my Heatran right here because I am very scared of the Xerneas, and Heatran is my counterplay to the Xerneas right here. So I'm going to go for Protect right here to guard myself from the Xerneas' Dazzling Gleam, as my opponent's going to go for the Dazzling Gleam with the Xerneas, and I'm like, yes, he walked right into my trap card because we're able to live with the Heatran and activate our red card.
Bye, bitch.
So we're going to force out the Xerneas with the Heatran. The cheese worked out flawlessly. The Xerneas got forced out, lost all those stat boosties, and my idea worked out amazingly. So I was very happy with Heatran's performance in this game right here. So here my opponent's going to pull a switch back into Salazzle, so I'm going to Mega Evolve with my Mega Sceptile because I need to start using Electrify. And what Electrify does is it changes any Pokemon's attack you focus into Electric, which of course with Lightning Rod means all the opponent's attacks will be turned into Electric type, which means Lightning Rod will absorb it. So that is really good for us. We're able to absorb the superpower with the Lightning Rod, and now we're able to get +1 special attack with our Lightning Rod, and Heatran's going to go for a Flash Cannon into the Breloom just because I wanted to break this thing's Focus Sash. I probably should have Electrified into Latias because it was probably a bigger threat, but I was afraid of the, Breloom sporing me, and I figured Sceptile could live a Dragon attack from the Latias as well, so it was kind of risky, but this entire idea is risky, so I was willing to risk it all right there. But here my opponent's going to go for Fake Out. We're able to guard ourselves with the Protect right here. My opponent's going to go for Superpower into the Heliolisk. I was thinking he was going to target into Sceptile right there, but instead he targets into Heliolisk. That's kind of unfortunate, but that's not a big deal because I was just sacking off Heliolisk anyways, because I wanted to save my Heatran for the Xerneas in case it comes back later on to screw me over. But now we're able to bring in Pinsir, which has Mold Breaker. Now keep that in mind. Pinsir is the only Pokemon in the game that can fulfill the role I needed to on this team. So we're going to go for the Electrify into the Salazzle over here because Salazzle is a really big threat with the Sludge Bomb, so we're able to absorb the Sludge Bomb with our Lightning Rod. And now we can go for the Bug Bite right here into Breloom because I wanted to knock out the Breloom so I didn't spore my Pinsir, because that would be a really big issue if Breloom did spore me. So we're able to knock out the Breloom with Bug Bite, and now my opponent's going to bring back out the Xerneas, and Xerneas is so terrifying, man. Xerneas is so scary, but at the very least it is no longer boosted, so we can go for the Electrify into the Xerneas and make it so it cannot knock me out with Moonblast or Dazzling Gleam. My opponent's going to go for Sludge Bomb into my Sceptile as we're barely able to live with 6 HP. I was like, oh my god. I was so lucky I lived that. That Salazzle must be max special attack for sure. My opponent's going to go for Dazzling Gleam. We're able to absorb it thanks to our Lightning Rod, and we're able to mimic the Electrify on the Pinsir. Now keep in mind, Pinsir has Mold Breaker, so what that means is that, well, for one, we're able to Electrify into the Salazzle and prevent it from knocking out my Sceptile, which is really good for us. However, Pinsir, as we saw, outsped the Xerneas, so we can go for Electrify into Xerneas, and thanks to Mold Breaker, Lightning Rod won't redirect the Electrify itself. So basically, if I use Electrify by itself without Mold Breaker, Lightning Rod will redirect it because it is an Electric type attack, but with Mold Breaker Electrify, I'll be able to ignore my own Lightning Rod, so we can get double electrifying on the opponent's side of the field and get +2 special attack with Lightning Rod every single turn. And there's just nothing the opponent can do about it. So we can just get infinite Lightning Rod boosts if we outspeed the opponent, and that was the idea behind the strategy. I know it's very cheesy, but like, welcome to the WeedleTwineedle channel. This Electrify combination was so fun to use, and Pinsir's able to live the Dazzling Gleams very easily because we are max HP, and is no longer stab and fairy boosted, or fairy or boosted because of the Electrify itself. So Pinsir's able to eat the Guava Berry as well before the Pinch Berries got nerfed in Sword and Shield. Definitely deserved that though, because the Pinch Berries are absolutely busted. And now my opponent's going to finally Mega Evolve with the Latias, and I'm like, this Latias is scary. It's probably going to go for like Speed Control or like Dragon Pulse or something. I want to knock this thing out immediately, so I'm going to go for Dragon Pulse into the Latias. I have enough special attack boost at this point, so I'm just going to target down the Latias, knock him out in one hit, and from here, we're just able to go for the Electrify yet again into the Xerneas, and like, it just doesn't matter what the opponent wants to do anymore. But my opponent actually catches on right here and goes for Geomancy, realizing that he needs to outspeed me if he wants to have a chance to win this battle. However, it's a little bit too late for that because now I'm just going to end my opponent's life with a helping hand boosted Giga Drain for Mega Sceptile, and that should be able to finish off the game. So that was the strategy with Electrify Mega Sceptile. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this battle. All of my Pokemon just came in clutch here, besides Heliolisk, but Heliolisk is mandatory for the Electrify itself. So yes, we're able to defeat Warbler with our meme strats. The red card Heatran came in clutch. I'm so glad the red card Heatran really helped me out against the Xerneas, and then the Mold Breaker Pinsir with the Mimic Electrify. I know it takes like 3 turns to set up to get the strategy to work, but when it works, man, it just destroys people. So hopefully you guys enjoy this first battle. Let's move on to the next battle. Alrighty, my next opponent today, Shadow, has a very threatening team with Necrozma, Rayquaza, Groudon, and Celesteela, so my opponent's team is pretty stacked. And this time around, we're bringing the Sceptile Heliolisk yet again because they are mandatory for this team strategy. We're bringing Minun this time around and Dugtrio, so a very odd combination of Pokemon for sure. I'm sure some of you guys are curious what I'm going to do in this game, but yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the second battle against Shadow. Now Shadow, just as a forewarning, is a bit of an uber noob. They're not the most experienced battler. Not that it really matters because their team is so strong regardless, so it kind of evens out. But I just figured I'd mention that before we get into this battle right here. So my opponent's going to lead off with legit shiny Necrozma and Rayquaza. I'm going to lead off with Sceptile and Heliolisk. And my opponent, it has a very terrifying lead. My opponent's lead is going to get even more terrifying because he's going to a Mega Evolve with the Mega Rayquaza, because regular Rayquaza is not enough. Of course not, they got a Mega Evolve with the Rayquaza as well. So my opponent's going to Mega Evolve with the Rayquaza, and that's not all. My opponent's also going to go for the Ultra Burst with the Necrozma, because why would you use regular Necrozma when you could use Ultra Necrozma? So my opponent has the stacked ass lead against me. The odds are definitely against me right here. Even if they are an uber noob, they have the raw power just to annihilate me. But we're going to electrify the Rayquaza because I'm very terrified of Dragon's Descent. However, the Ultra Necrozma can also kill me, so I don't know which one I was supposed to target, but I think I targeted the right Pokemon with Electrify, because here my opponent's going to go for the Dragon's Descent into my Sceptile, as we're able to live because we changed the flying type attack into Electric with Electrify. And now we can go for the Mimic right here and learn the Electrify from the Heliolisk, so we're able to pull that off at the very least. And now my opponent's going to go for the Photon Geyser, so I'm like, oh lord, please don't be targeting into the Sceptile, as thankfully they target into Heliolisk, as we're able to live. So if my opponent double targeted into Sceptile right there, I probably lost the game, but thankfully my opponent did not do that, so we're able to go for the Mega Evolution with my Sceptile right here. And this time, I'm actually going to decide to go for the Electrify into the Necrozma, because I realized that Necrozma might just Z-move me, and that's terrifying to deal with. And I also think I could just annihilate this Rayquaza right here with the Z-move right here, which my Heliolisk does carry. So we're going to go for the normal Z-move right here with my Heliolisk, and we're actually packing an offensive Z-move right here. No Z-status move, so we're going to go for the Breakneck Blitz. And Breakneck Blitz, Rayquaza is at -1 defense and special defense, and this is Stab Breakneck Blitz with Z Hyper Beam, so I do think Mega Rayquaza is going to just fall over to this attack, and thankfully Mega Rayquaza just drops, so down goes Mega Rayquaza to Heliolisk's Hyper Beam, and then my opponent's like, look, I have a Z move too, and I'm like, oh wow, the Z move is so broken that I actually have to cut it out, otherwise Game Freak will send me to the Shadow Realm. So Light That Burns this guy is going to hit my Mega Sceptile and do decent damage despite the fact that we 4 times resist it, and he's actually going to get a crit here, which is like whatever. Now the reason why Lightning Rod did not work versus Light That Burns the Sky is because of the fact that Light That Burns the Sky and Photon Geyser just have a Mold Breaker effect built into that move, so it actually ignores abilities, so that is why Lightning Rod did not absorb the electrified attack, in case you guys are wondering. But in comes the Primal Groudon, and Primal Groudon is very scary. Of course, it is one of the most strongest legendaries in the game. It has the highest usage rate in Ubers, so of course it's very, very strong. However, in this situation, I'm actually happy I'm facing a Primal Groudon because of the fact my Heliolisk does have these solar power abilities, so I'm able to go for a Hyper Beam here, Stab boosted, solar power boosted, and we're just going to obliterate Ultra Necrozma with the Hyper Beam. So down goes Ultra Necrozma, thanks to the solar power and thanks to Primal Groudon. So Primal Groudon actually helped me in this situation, which is hilarious. We're going to get a Lightning Rod boost thanks to the Electrify and Precipice Blade that's going to knock out my Heliolisk, which is fine. Heliolisk is the MVP of this battle because it killed Mega Rayquaza and it killed Ultra Necrozma, so Heliolisk definitely pulled its weight in this battle for sure. But now in comes my Minun. You guys are probably like, Minun? what's Minun gonna do in this legendary fight, but you'll see. This Minun strategy I came up with is so troll, but it's so funny. You'll see what I'm talking about in just a moment. So we're gonna protect right here, and I'm gonna go for the Encore into the Primal Groundon because I want to lock him into Precipice Blades. The reasoning behind that is because, well, I have the air balloon on my Minun, of course, but there's another reasoning for that, as you'll see in just a moment. So my opponent's going to go for Flamethrower into my Sceptile as we're able to protect ourselves. And now I'm going to go for the Electrify again into the Celesteela. Now Celesteela is actually a big issue to this team just because of the fact that I can't really touch it with Mega Sceptile. It is a Steel Flying type, and Grass Dragon coverage does not hit Celesteela very hard, obviously. So we're actually going to do entrainment here to give Mega Sceptile Volt Absorb. And you may be asking yourself, why would you do that? Like, don't you want Lightning Rod so you can get infinite special attack boost? I do, that is a strategy on this team. However, I came up with a secondary strategy just for fun. I do think the pincer strategy is better like 9 times out of 10, but I wanted to use this strategy for fun because I didn't want to just showcase the pincer strategy, you know what I mean? I wanted to do another strat. So here, we're going to copycat Electrify so we can go for double Electrify. And because we got rid of Lightning Rod, we can actually go for the Electrify. And it does auto-target into the Pokemon you did not Electrify already. So if you do use copycat Electrify, it actually auto-targets into the other Pokemon you did not Electrify already, which is kind of weird. Either that or I got very lucky. Either way, this strategy worked out flawlessly because we're able to get free recovery for my opponent's attacks. Like, basically my opponent is just attacking me and they cannot do anything because we have double Volt Absorb and double Electrify. So there's literally nothing my opponent can do in this scenario. He's just forced to watch me heal. I'm going to go for Encore again into the Groundon because I want to keep it locked into the Precipice Blade so we can get recovery on both Minun and Sceptile with the Electrify and Copycat Volt Absorb combination. So we're gonna get more Volt Absorb on Minun, and it pretty much speaks for itself at this point. We're actually gonna go for Dragon Pulse here into the Groundon just because I need to get off some damage eventually. You know, infinitely recovering is fun and all, but eventually I have to do damage because my opponent, I just can't sit here all day. My opponent could just timer stall me at that point. So yeah, we're gonna go for Electric Red right here, hit the Celesteela, and my opponent's gonna go for Precipice Blades. Thanks to the Air Balloon, we're able to avoid it. And Precipice Blades is not gonna do too much damage to Sceptile because of the fact we've resisted. And now we could just infinite recovery again because, you know, we took the opportunity to attack, but now we've taken some damage, so now we gotta take the opportunity to infinitely recover again. So we're gonna go for Electrify again, and it's Celesteela, and then we can just go for Copycat again, and just automatically target the Groundon with the Electrify. So this combination's kind of evil. It's very gimmicky, of course, but it's just so evil to the fact that the opponent can't do anything but watch them recover. Like, they're just healing you for free, and there's just nothing they can do about it besides, like, obviously not attack you, but obviously that's the whole point of Pokemon. You gotta attack the other Pokemon to kill it, but if you're just infinitely healing me, then what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? So this combination is so funny. I love it. It's obviously not very good, but, like, I got to pull it off in this battle, so of course I'm going to showcase it even if my opponent's not the most experienced. So I'm going to Electrify into Groundon and go for Encore again into Groundon because now I have a game plan to just win this game because I had my fun infinitely recovering, but I do have to seal up this game because otherwise it'll never end. Like, I can't really touch Celesteela, and once I kill Groundon it's dead, but the Celesteela is going to be sitting here for a while, so I got to come up with a game plan to get rid of it. So my opponent's going to Flamethrower here, hit my Minun instead of hitting my Sceptile because he does not want to double recover my Sceptile, which is totally understandable. But now that the Groundon's locked into Precipice Blades, because of Encore, I'm able to bring in my Dugtrio, which is my game plan because I'm going to go for the Electrify into the Celesteela to make sure they cannot knock out my Dugtrio with any of his attacks. And Precipice Blades will hit my Sceptile and my Dugtrio, which was part of my plan. It was part of my elaborate plan. So we're able to live with our Focus Sash, which is really good for us. And now my opponent's going to Flamethrower into my Minun slot, but thanks to Electrify, we're able to be immune to it because it is Electric type, of course. And now we're going to go for Protect right here with my Dugtrio because I want to knock out this Groundon with the Giga Drain. So I'm going to go for Giga Drain into the Primal Groundon and knock them out. So down goes the Primal Groundon. Now all that's left is the Celesteela. Now Celesteela, I could just Electrify and then just attack and just slowly whittle it down. However, I have a next level flex play, and my opponent decides to go for Heavy Slam here. He had Heavy Slam this whole time, but decided not to use it. I'm not too sure why, but that's what I was talking about earlier with my opponent probably being not the most experienced in the world. But now we're going to Electrify the Dugtrio and go for Reversal. So now it's Electric type Reversal. We're able to hit Celesteela super effectively and knock him out in one hit. So down goes the Celesteela to the Electrified Reversal, and we're able to defeat Shadow thanks to the copycat Voltazor Electrify memes. So yeah, that was the other strategy I want to showcase in this video. The double Electrify combination with the Voltazor and Lightning Rod. And plus that, you know, electrifying reversal combo at the end was very cool as well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed these battles featuring Electrify Mega Sceptile. I thought this team is very fun to use. Obviously it's not the best, but neither are any of the teams that I use. But yeah, if you guys enjoy this video and really want to support my channel and what I do here on YouTube, the best way of doing so is leaving a like on the video and leaving comments. It really helps me out, and I'm going to need any extra help I can get on this video because this is a Gen 7 battle video during the Sword and Shield era, so it's going to perform very badly, so I'm going to need you guys' help. So be sure to smash that like button if you want to see my channel stay relevant, and if you enjoy this Gen 7 content. And I also would appreciate it if all of you guys, even the guys who lurk and never leave comments, would answer this question. Would you guys still be interested in seeing Gen 7 battling content or not? Should I just stick with Sword and Shield battling content? Let me know in the comments down below if you guys would still be interested in seeing Gen 7 content, or if I should stick with Sword and Shield content for now. Me personally, I do think playing Gen 7 is still worth it because there is hundreds of Pokemon that aren't in Sword and Shield that are in Ultra Sun and Moon, and there's hundreds of moves that aren't in Sword and Shield that are in, you know, Ultra Sun and Moon. Of course, I still will be playing Sword and Shield. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to drop that game as much as I hate it. I still plan on playing it, but I am curious to see if you guys still enjoy Gen 7 content or not. The feedback I get on this video will influence if I do continue playing Gen 7 or not. So if you guys do want to see more Gen 7 content, let me know in the comments down below. And if you guys want me to stick with Sword and Shield and never touch Gen 7 again, let me know in the comments down below, because your comments will definitely influence the future of my uploads. So keep that in mind before you comment on the video. But yeah, thank you guys so much for your time. I do have a Discord server, by the way, if you are interested in joining that. I'll leave a link to that in the description of this video. If you want to chit chat with me, maybe get a battle with me or other people and just talk about Pokemon, definitely join my Discord server. I'll leave a link to that in the description down below. But yeah, that'll do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching till the end of the video. I love you all very, very much, and I'll check you guys in my next video.